podcast you're about to listen to is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of horror movie fans who chose to listen to the Huge Horror Movie Podcast.
With your host, Killian Gore.
Gizmo, whoa, Gizmo, whoa, Gizmo, whoa, Gizmo, Gizmo, whoa, Gizmo, Gizmo, whoa, Gizmo. Ya-da, da-da-da-da, ya-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba, Gizmo, oh, Gizmo, oh, Gizmo, oh, Gizmo. Hi, and welcome to the Horror Movie Podcast. The Huge Horror Movie Podcast. Hope you enjoyed that song. It's called Gizmo. Right, so I'm Killian Gore, and today we're of course doing Gremlins, the movie in the BG. What else it is? It's Gremlins, isn't it? It's got to be really. Well, no, it could have been Gremlins 2, equally as good, bit madder, less of a Christmas movie. And yes, Gremlins is a horror movie. Okay, let's just move this mic. Yeah, let's just clear that up before we begin, because some people don't think it is, do they? I had somebody comment recently on one of my social media posts saying, "Is Gremlins a horror movie?" To which I replied, "Yup." And I'd circled the Internet Movie Database genre list there, where it says comedy, fantasy, horror. Yeah, it's horror. Okay, yeah, it's not out-and-out horror. You know, it's not the Texas Gremlins massacre, but it's certainly got a lot of horror elements. I do believe it was actually more of a full-on horror movie at one point, and they toned it down, probably Spielberg involvement, and made it more of, I wouldn't say a family film, not considering some of the the things in it. I mean, come on, it's monsters. They're killing people. You know, it's horror. It's a horror film, comedy horror film, a Christmas film, family film, not quite family film. Right. Anyway, I'm waffling. So I'm not very well prepared today. Is he ever prepared? So yeah, in the movie there, in the BG, he's just bought Gizmo in a very nice box. I want one of those boxes. Maybe not with a mogwai in it. Because they can turn quite nasty, can't they, if you don't obey those rules. Anyway, we're going to kick off with... we're going to go straight to... Oh, excuse me. The horror movie manual for some words from Gremlins. So, of course, to begin with, we have Gizmo, the central mogwai creature featured in the two Gremlins movies. His owner is Billy Peltzer, a man who really should never have been allowed to look after such a volatile animal. Twice. So yeah, there we go. Actually, before I spoil all the questions again, let's have our opening 5 questions right now, because it keeps happening, doesn't it? Right, here we go. Are you ready? Number 1. What is the name of the town in which Gremlins is set? And number 2, what are the 3 rules Billy's father is told not to break whilst owning a mogwai? I think we all know those. Number 3, who plays Billy's friend, Pete? And number 4, which food do the new group of mogwais eat in Billy's room, causing them to turn into gremlins? And number 5, what is the name of Billy's dog? And there's our opening 5 questions. I've not done the jingle yet. It's in the works, let me tell you that. No, actually what I'm going to read from you to begin with, well, we have had the questions to begin with, but we're going to do a bit of a story now. It's story time, ladies and gentlemen. And this is from the Gremlins quiz book. So yeah, again, it's one of the movies that I've done a standalone quiz book on. We have over 200 questions there for you, which has got some bonus questions on creature features, the movies of 1984, and that's it. What there was more. Is that it? So maybe we'll have some of those later on, you know, if you're good, if you're lucky. Anyway, this is a story called The High Life. Story which I rather like, which is about it's like Gremlins. Well, it's more like that Twilight Zone episode. It's in the Twilight Zone movie, Nightmare at, is it 20,000 feet? My knowledge. Nightmare. Oh, because there's a few Nightmare at whatever, isn't there? Nightmare at 20,000 feet was the one in the episode. Remakes Twilight Zone movie version. I think it carries the same name. I'm only unsure of the name because I know they did it in that new series of the Twilight Zone, which I've not seen, where they changed it. Oh right, see in the made-for-television horror film, it's called The Horror at 37,000 feet. So you see, there are some different ones, and then in Twilight Zone, the new series. I believe this is one of those boring bits again, isn't it? Should I just, when I do one of these boring bits, should I just stop doing it? Or pursue it as I tend to do? I just push it until it gets even worse. Yeah, so we're going to abandon that. Here we go. This is an excerpt from The High Life. Marvin turned back to his window. The capsule would only... Oh, did I explain the story? I can't remember. Yeah, it's... a gremlin on the side of a commercial space flight. So rather than being an airplane, this is a guy who sees a gremlin outside the window of a very expensive space flight that he's taken. He's a rich guy, and hence why it has the double barrel, the High Life meaning to its title. It's very clever of me, wasn't it? Right, here we go. Marvin turned back to his window. The capsule would only be out in space for a few minutes before it would begin its descent home. There wasn't time to worry about something that was likely just a natural phenomenon of being a spacecraft. He knew that a lot of space was littered with junk. There could be 1,000 explanations for what he saw. Maybe he didn't see... Maybe he didn't even see anything physical to begin with. Maybe it was just a reflection. Perhaps something the visor, his helmet, had reflected in a strange way. You, ever see anything, anything a little strange up here? Marvin timidly asked John. UFOs? Marvin nodded. Why, you see something? John said, gliding over to Marvin. No, I was just, you hear stories, see footage from the space station, Marvin replied, not wishing to cause any alarm. You see plenty of strange things up here, Marvin. We're up in the great unknown. Marvin eased himself out of John's path, floating back down to the window by the two seats. The fully trained astronaut had put his mind at ease to a certain extent. He hoped John would catch a glimpse himself and be able to fully explain whatever it was out there. But it was to be Marvin who saw something again. As he gently came to rest in his seat, he found himself looking directly into the eyes of a grotesque creature, pressing its greasy face against the window opposite him. He felt a pang of doom squeeze inside his chest. The creature at the window almost seemed to smile, but in an awful and rascally manner, before it darted to the side, leaving blackness in its wake. Oh, Jesus! What? Marvin felt himself quaking with fear. His eyes felt like they wanted to burst out of his head and float out in front of him. Marvin, you okay? John said, totally baffled by Marvin's sudden change in behaviour. I saw something. And there you go. That's from The High Life, which I'm sure you found very exciting. Sorry about that sniff of the nose there. We'll edit that out. Not... Right, so we're going to look at what I missed off last episode, which I always do, is the 1-star reviews, which is always a laugh. So we're going to have a look at some of the Gremlins 1-star reviews. What does this guy say? King Prawn Sean. It's a bit long-winded. Best what's with a cheeseburger and a glass of dry white wine. but he only gives it 1 star. Does he dislike the film? He doesn't seem to give. He just describes the story. Yeah. How weird's that? King Prawn, Shawnee, you sound of mine. Anyway, really, just boringly bad. This thing really shows its age and is a prime example of the really bad things the 80s gave us. The plot is nonsensical, and the effects are reminiscent of 1950s sci-fi. An amazing waste of cinematic resources, says Michelangelo Bob 645 never see it. There's not many. Again, it's like Monster Squad here. There's only 3 1-star reviews. Well done, Joe Dante. But your last review here from Mahi Dirikibla. I can't pronounce that. Sorry, love. He just says stupid. The hero is complete moron, and the guy who played him is one of the worst actors I've ever seen. Imbecile. Wow. He clearly has some issues with Zach Gallagher. Maybe he snubbed him at a convention once. Just aimed it all at Zach. I think Zach was supposed to be at HorrorCon this year. Anyway, yeah, the reason we're doing Gremlins because we're, of course, now in the on the way to Christmas, aren't we? So I thought I'd do a Christmassy horror movie. There's other ones I could have picked. Sure. There is Silent Night, Deadly Night, Krampus. And things of that ilk. We will just now address, though, the first 5 questions. Then we got a very cool special guest coming in. Where have I put it? Right, here we go. The answers. So there's first 5, the opening 5. The town is, of course, Kingston Falls. Y'all know that. And we all know those rules, surely. They are, don't expose the Mogwai to bright lights. Sunlight will kill him. Don't get it wet, and don't feed it after midnight. Numero 3, who plays Billy's friend Pete? Of course, Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman, have I mentioned him on this show before? He's had such a string of hits, didn't he, in the 80s there? You know, Friday the 13th, Stand By Me, Gremlins, Goonies, and loads more that I've just probably missed, which I'm now having a look at. Did I name all the big ones? Lost Boys, of course. The Burbs. Oh my God, I missed the Burbs off. Although not generally considered up there with those other ones, is it? A bit of a black sheep of a movie. I think can I do one of these on the Burbs? There's even less of a horror, isn't it? People would go even crazier over that. Did I miss one out anyway? I don't think I did. He did, Friday the 13th, Gremlins, Goonies, Stand By Me, Lost Boys, The Burbs, and then that's it. Then he just disappeared into bizarredom, didn't he? Before sort of coming back. Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger 4. He has some strange films in his resume. Serial Killer. Just called Serial Killer. The Birthday. Stephen Mason likes that one a lot. I believe Stephen Mason from Lonely Tree Entertainment, YouTube channel I've mentioned before, I believe he took Corey Feldman, who I accidentally referred to as Eric Corey Haim at HorrorCon, on a number of occasions. Silly me. He took him a copy of the Birthday, I think on like DVD. Was it a DVD? And apparently, Corey Feldman was particularly stoked to see that somebody knew of that film. It doesn't seem very well known. I'm just looking here. It's got 412 votes on Internet Movie Database, but 5.9 out of 10. Comedy, horror, mystery. I still haven't seen it, and I should do. Anyway, on with the last one there of... 2 more. The food that the new group chew upon, of course, was that chicken, that naughty chicken. And Billy's dog is Barney, played by a dog called Mushroom, who also appeared in Stan Winston's Pumpkinhead. Hey, bit of a free trivia there for you. Bit of a bonus bit of trivia. Anyway, our studio guest, you'll please give a big, warm welcome to the actual stair lift from Gremlins. There it is. Slowly ascending the stairs. There we go. Don't know if this is good podcasting or not. It's getting a bit boring. It's just on its way to the top now. And is it there? Is it there at the top? Have you made it to the top stair lift? Are you there? He's just at the middle bit of the stairs now. Oop, going a little bit faster. I don't know if you heard that. It's quite exciting. Different chain of events unfurling. Is that the right word? I don't normally comment upon stair lifts. I don't know what I'm... Anyway, that's this. Let's stop that. Alright, thank you for coming in anyway. It was a lot more boring than I thought that would be. I thought it'd be very exciting. I thought it'd do something like you did in the movie stair lift when you went crazy and threw that old lady out window. Sadly, that wasn't the case. But anyway, yeah. That was a nice... a nice thing to have come all this way to see us anyway on the Huge Horror Movie Podcast. Right, so I just wanted to give a little bit of a chat about what I've been up to, and what I have been up to is watching some horror movies as per normal. I just watched the other night, Nobody, just typing it in, Nobody Sleeps, is that right? Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, a Polish horror film that's just plopped onto Netflix recently. Only a 4.8 on Internet Movie Database from you lot. What's wrong with you? I've just given it a 10, so there you go. Because I think it deserved it. Yes, in the review there, somebody pointed out there's a little bit derivative. So what, you know? Although that review's nicely gone now. It's probably because I just clipped, was this review helpful? And I put no to the better one. The better one. It's now been replaced by a slightly better one, which is 7 out of 10. Under the layer of an archetypal slasher movies, there's a strong political statement that some people fail to recognise. The story of two twin brothers is a clear link to the two who stole the moon, and that's just a start. Among thrills, chills, blood and boobs, almost every dialogue scene criticises the nowadays Poland, the lack of tolerance, the pathologies within the Catholic Church. But at the end of the day, it's a well-crafted, well-acted, fun film. I didn't expect the review to go the way it did then. It was a very serious review, wasn't it? Who really loved it on Internet Movie Database? Let's give somebody this time some recognition. Who gave it a 10 and a review? I gave it a 10, but I didn't put a review on there. I've not got time for that. I'm not finding a 10, so let's search by 10s. Has anyone done it? Yes, we got one. From Rahul Pardeshi 2005. Well done, Rahul Pardeshi 2005. I'm going to send you a Christmas card, Rahul Pardeshi 2005. You and I should be friends, Rahul Pardeshi 2005. He says, I loved the music at each instant. It was ecstatic music and well at moment. No unfunny events and jokes. All seemed real. Well, director was not in mood for simple regular scenes. Each scene was new. It keeps you all high till the end. Oh, Rahul Pardeshi 2005. What the hell was that? Yeah. Anyway, again, wasn't expecting that. It's got some weird reviews, isn't it? If I had time and you were interested, I would probably read some, find some better ones than that. But I'm not gonna. Let's move on to some more questions for y'all. Is that what you're here for? Number 6. Which two words appear on many of the Gremlins marketing images, looking like Stripe has written them himself with a red crayon? And number 7. What is the name of the travel invention that Billy's father is trying to sell throughout the movie? 8. Why does Billy's girlfriend Kate not like customers? And number 9. Where does Billy work in Gremlins? 10. This is our true or false moment. Director Joe Dante originally considered using monkeys to play the Gremlins. Now, is that true or is it false? And that's it. We stop on 10, don't we? And we scooch over to the horror movie manual for some more interesting word play. Mogwai, a diminutive a diminutive, cute and cuddly little creature hailing from the Orient. Although the Gremlins novelisation establishes that they are extraterrestrial in origin. Did you know that? Which shouldn't really be sold to people at Christmas time. There are 3 main rules for looking after a mogwai, all of which should be ignored if you wish to make a successful horror movie. Summarising the 3 rules, yeah, we already know those. So you don't feed them after midnight. This will turn them into a really nasty, mean-spirited creature called a gremlin. Features in the films Gremlins and Gremlins 2: The New Batch. The word mogwai comes from a Cantonese word that means evil spirit, demon, or monster. Yeah, there you go. And our last one here, I got, what word is this? Stripe, the main gremlin creature featured in the first Gremlins movie. Stripe is the leader of the pack and the main antagonist of both Billy and Gizmo. His name derives from the tuft of white hair atop his head. Although he seems smarter and more devious than the rest of his clan, his evil plans for world domination are thwarted when Gizmo opens the blinds. I like that one in part 2. Do you know the one I mean? He's dead smart. Now, civilization, is that one? What's his name? Oh, I won't be able to find his name, will I? Is he called Brain or something? Brains. I cannot see who does... Because somebody quite famous as the voice, don't they? Gizmo voice. Into the voices. Oh, nobody does the voice. Oh, Brain Gremlin. Tony Randall. Yeah, Tony Randall, of course. I know that name, Tony Randall. Who is he? In The Odd Couple, Pillow Talk, Everything You Always... What's that? Is that the Woody Allen one? Oh, Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask. Oh, that's a funny film from Woody Allen there. And is he dead? He's dead. So, sorry, Tony Randall, to hear that. Well, what? Yeah, he's just called Brain Gremlin. Let's type in Brain Gremlin, because... excuse that, that's my phone. I've left it on in case it's probably going to go off a few more times. I'll hide it over there. Brain Gremlin quotes. I'm going to get a quote because they're not the niceties, Fred, the fine points, diplomacy, compassion, standards, manners, tradition. That's what we're reaching toward. Oh, we may stumble along the way, but civilization, yes. That was my impersonation, off the cuff, but read off that screen there in front of me. Anyway, we're going to have some trivia from the Incredible Horror Movie Facts book, Gremlins. Oh, no, we're not. Are we? No. We'll do the... They give the bloody thing away. I should say that later in this episode, although this episode won't go on that much longer... well, yeah, we've got Joe Dante will be coming in to answer some what's your favourite scary movie questions, and I'll tell you how I ended up getting those answers from him, which is a really boring story that you will listen to if you want to stay listening. What? That didn't make any sense. We're just going to skip quickly to the answers to those questions. The 2 words on the posters is "We're here." And the invention is, of course, the bathroom buddy. I want a bathroom buddy. Although it's a very clunky looking thing, isn't it? Needs streamlining a little bit. And then maybe I'd want one. I wonder if anybody actually went ahead and made a real bathroom buddy, because it's quite a good idea. Bathroom buddy real? Let's have a look. Did anybody... The bathroom buddy. I always wanted the bathroom buddy, somebody says here. Gremlins bathroom buddy. What's this? Sorry about the pause there. Just throwing this out there. Anybody up for a bathroom buddy? Both toothpaste and shaving cream working. What? What is this website? This is somebody who's actually made... I think that might be somebody who's made one, because it doesn't look like the one in the film. It still looks clunky, though. Right, the Billy's girlfriend question, why she didn't like Christmas, was her father was killed during the Christmas holidays. he was intending to surprise her by dressing as Santa Claus and coming down the chimney, but ended up breaking his neck in the process. Silly man. Where does Billy work in Gremlins? It's the bank, isn't it? Yeah, in Kingston Falls Bank, the Union Savings and Trust Bank. And number 10, with the true or false about the monkeys. It's true, the production team went as far as trying a creature head on a monkey, but after it went berserk, they opted against the idea. And that's the thing that had some extra trivia for you from our movie facts. Oh, I picked up the wrong book. Bear with. A few ideas were initially bandied around between the filmmakers on how they could achieve these special effects for the creatures. One of the more crazy suggestions was using monkeys. Joe Dante says that they went as far as putting a creature head onto a monkey and watching him chaotically cavort around the editing room. After observing the monkey pooping on everything in terror... Sorry, did you hear the bloody air freshener ruin that bit? Do you ruin that bit up there, you? Stop screeching. After observing the monkey pooping on everything in terror, they wisely decided against the idea. The fictional town of Kingston Falls was filmed on the Universal Studios backlot and is the same set that was used as Hill Valley in the Back to the Future movies, which probably will be one of the questions. Let's hope not. A few more. One of the most famous moments in Joe Dante's much-beloved movie was almost left on the cutting room floor. Kate's tragic story about her Santa-attired father getting trapped and dying in the chimney was deemed too ambiguous by studio executives, who didn't know if it was supposed to be funny or sad. Steven Spielberg himself didn't even like the scene. What does he know? Although he trusted his pal Dante and allowed him to keep it in. A wise decision there. Joe Dante wins over Spielberg. And our last little bit of trivia here. Star Zach Galligan got the surprise of his life when shock rocker Marilyn Manson approached him in a bar and asked him to sign his Gremlins lunchbox. He had it in the trunk of his car, if you can believe it. We went out to get it and he said, "Do you know Corey Feldman? Maybe you could ask him to sign it too." Honestly, Marilyn, you crazy mofo. But you know, we're all fans of Gremlins, aren't we? It's one of those that's kind of covers a lot of genres, as we talked about right at the beginning, didn't we? Yeah, because it's like comedy, horror, Christmas. It don't know what it wants to be. Right, I'm just gonna see have we addressed everything. We've done that. We've done that, kind of. Did that. I don't know what that says at the end. What the hell? Oh, yeah. Oh, my bloody handwriting is awful. So we're almost out of things to do. So let's wheel in Mr. Joe Dante himself. Hey, this is very exciting for you, isn't it? Joe. I should warn you, he gives rather brief answers. And it's probably because he was just on his way to Europe when he answered these questions. I think he came to the UK actually. So this was after, and I'm not sure if I've already mentioned this in a previous episode. Apologies if I have, but it was a few years ago that I just suddenly got a photograph from somebody on Facebook who wasn't on my friends list, and they said, you know, Joe recently was given a copy of your Burbs quiz book by a friend of his. And, you know, he was really tickled by it, were I think were the words used. And then she went and, you know, gave me this photograph, sent me, I think, 2 photographs of Joe Dante holding up the Burbs quiz book, you know, which was just astonishing. So I went and slapped that on the back cover of the revised edition. I had to, didn't I? You know, you got to do these things. So, being cheeky, I said, can Joe answer the questions to another book I'm doing? And she said, "Oh, I suppose so." No, she didn't. She's lovely, really. It was Tara Lee, who works, or Tara Kittle, who is Joe Dante's assistant. Yeah, Yeah, like I said, she wasn't on my friend list. I think she was using her nephew's Facebook profile because she didn't have a Facebook profile at the time. That bit of information is completely superfluous, isn't it? Don't write that down if you're transcripting the show. Anyway, Joe, is that what you do for your hobby? I transcript the Huge Horror Movie podcast in my spare time. So, Joe, what's your favourite scary movie? The Innocents, 1961. Great. What's your favourite horror movie? Or who is your... I'm nervous because it's you, Joe. Who is your favourite horror movie director? James Whale. Nice choice, Joey. Sorry, I'm getting a bit familiar now. Nerves have passed. What's your favourite type, subgenre of horror movie? Oh, horror comedies. Yes, it would be, wouldn't it? What's your favourite bad horror movie? The Brain from Planet Arus. Arus. How do you say that? Arus. Is it just Arus? I'm making it sound like Arus, aren't I? The brain from Planet Arus. Arus. 1957. I've not seen it, Joe. I'm sorry. What would be your favourite horror double feature drive-in choice? Oh, It Came From Beneath the Sea and Creature with the Atom Brain, which was an actual program from my childhood. Wow, there you go. They're both from 1955, so that makes sense. That probably means you're not lying that it's an actual program from your childhood. Oh, that's what's that? Probably just the credit card, is it? Oh no, it's eBay. eBay. Message from eBay. Who is your favourite horror movie killer? Sorry about that, by the way, Joe. Phone going. Oh no, it's quite all right. Who's your favourite horror movie killer? Norman Bates. Oh yeah, good choice. What's your favourite horror movie creature monster? Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah. He's a great one to pick. What's your favourite horror movie franchise? The Corman Poe series. Don't know what you're on about. What's your favourite horror movie sequel? Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah, another great choice, Joe. Classy guy, isn't he? What's your favourite horror movie remake? Horror of Dracula, 1958. Horror of Dracula, 1958. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Hammer one, isn't he? Because in the US, he is. They call it Horror of Dracula. You guys in America, you don't want it just called Dracula, did you? No, can we have it be called Horror of Dracula so we know it's a horror film? No, I think I imagine it was something to do with Universal, wasn't it? Because the Universal one's just called Dracula. Maybe it's that. I don't know. What's your favourite horror television show? The Twilight Zone. Yeah, again, it would be, wouldn't it? And what's your favourite zombie movie? I Walked with a Zombie. Did you? No, that's the film. Oh, yes, of course. That's a 1943 film. There wouldn't be my choice. I don't think I've even seen it. I Walked with a Zombie. Yeah, Jacques Tourneur. Oh, he's a well-known director, isn't he? He did. Didn't he do that Night of the Beast or something? Is it Night of the Beast? Night of the Demon, sorry. Night of the Demon. Did he actually do Night of the Demon? I bet he didn't now, did he? Oh, he did. Thank God for that. My horror facade nearly collapsed in on itself there. And so what's been your favourite Halloween costume to finish up with, Joe? I made my mom up as the Bride of Frankenstein one year, but used steel wool for the hair, and she couldn't wear it very long. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Joe. Mr. Joe Dante, everybody. Who I should have met this year. I think I've already whined about that, haven't I? Let's move on now to finish up with the final 10 questions from the Huge Horror Movie Quiz Book. Number 11. What film do the Gremlins watch at the cinema towards the end of the movie? 12. How is Stripe killed at the end of Gremlins? 13. Which two famous cartoon characters appear at the beginning of Gremlins 2 The New Batch? And 14. What is the name of the company? I sometimes wonder, should I leave a big gap, if you're playing along, listening in a group, for example, drinking shandies and eating chocolate bars. Maybe I'll do a tiny... You can always press pause, right? Yeah, you got to pause. What is the name of the company that Billy and Kate both work for in Gremlins 2, The New Batch? Press pause if you're playing, like I just said. Which iconic horror movie actor appears in Gremlins 2, The New Batch as Dr. Catheter? And 16, which horror costume does the host of Grandpa Fred's House of Horrors wear in Gremlins 2, The New Batch? 17, which character from Gremlins does not appear in the sequel, Gremlins 2, The New Batch? Is it Billy Peltzer, Murray Futterman, Randall Peltzer, or Mr. Wing? 18. Which famous film critic appears in a scene in Gremlins 2, The New Batch, criticising the first Gremlins movie? 19. How are the Gremlins killed at the end of Gremlins 2, The New Batch? And final question. The final question. Which 2017 animated movie features an appearance by the Gremlins? There you go. There's our quiz. Where's the... Oh, put it over here. The Gremlins quiz book. And I don't know if somewhere amongst the answers... I should have done my research here and check this out a little bit. I just wanted to look into how it was originally going to be more of a horror movie. No, I can't find it. Bear with me for 1 second. Gremlins more of horror. I don't know if this will... there we go. Let's try that. This is awful research, isn't it? No, I'll have to come back to you on that. Maybe tag it into the next show, because the next one will be holiday horror movies. As it'll be even closer to Christmas by then. So let's wrap up and we'll have the answers to those final questions, because I think we've covered everything else. I've not talked much about the movie in the BG, apart from, I think this is the scene... No, it's not. But there definitely was talk somewhere that Gremlins was going to be like more of a horror movie. Let's see. The story of Gremlins was conceived by Chris Columbus, and this is dreadful. Spielberg chose Dante previously. This is so bad, isn't it? I got it. Woo! The first version was much darker than the final film. Various scenes were cut, including one which portrayed Billy's mother dying in her struggle with the Gremlins, with her head thrown down the stairs when Billy arrives. Data later explained the scene made the film darker than the filmmakers wanted. There was also a scene where the Gremlins ate Billy's dog, and a scene where the Gremlins attacked a McDonald's, eating the customers instead of the burgers. Also, instead of Stripe being a Mogwai who becomes a Gremlin, there was originally no Mogwai named Stripe. Rather, Gizmo was supposed to transform into Stripe the Gremlin. Spielberg overruled this plot element as he felt Gizmo was cute and that audiences would want him to be present throughout the film. So there you go, it was Spielberg who kind of spoiled everything in making it a more out-and-out horror film. And that was the scene that I thought was in the BG there. I thought it was that scene with the mother. Because it's already quite scary in the actual film. But yeah, apparently she was going to have her head bitten off. Awesome. They should go back, shouldn't they? Tweak it. Do those extra scenes. Wouldn't take much work. Well, it would take a little bit of work. I don't think they filmed any of that, as far as I know. I think that was just the script. Before Spielberg said, no, he got a big red pen. No, you can't do that. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. I want it more of it like a Christmassy kiddie film. Anyway, the final answers. Here we go. Sorry. I've gone off on one. This isn't the right. Oh, right. The film that they're watching at the end of the film, yeah, it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937. How is Stripe killed at the end of Gremlins? Gizmo exposes him to direct sunlight, which I think I mentioned, haven't I? And the cartoon characters at the beginning of Gremlins 2 is Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. And the company that Billy and Kate worked for in Gremlins 2 was Clamp Enterprises. Which iconic horror movie character... actor, sorry, I meant to say act. I did just say actor in the book. I've not found another mistake. The actor is Dr. Caviter is, of course, Christopher Lee. And the horror costume that Grandpa Fred wears is a Dracula costume from House of Dracula, or Dracula if you're in the UK. Which character is not in Gremlins 2 from the first film? It was Randall Peltzer, Billy's dad. Don't know why, maybe he wanted more money. It's often the case, isn't it? Can you hear that vehicle out there? Famous film critic, yeah, is Leonard Maltin in that rather meta scene, you'd say, wouldn't you? I liked that about Gremlins 2. I still remember first watching Gremlins 2 and thinking, wow, this is just, what is this? This is out of this world, man. This is trippy, man. It's so trippy. The film exists within the film. My God. Yeah, it's great seeing something like that. I think Dante has sort of said, hasn't he? He considers it the biggest budget. Did he say something like highest budget art house film ever released by a major studio? He said something like that. Which again I can't find. If I did my research before doing the show, you'd be listening to a much better show, wouldn't you? Yeah, but he did say something like that. That's good enough, isn't it? I've done good enough for you there. That's the 19, how the Gremlins killed at the end of Gremlins 2. They are soaked in water from a hose, and the electric gremlin is unleashed, electrocuting them all. And our final question, the 2017 animated movie which features the Gremlins, was the Lego Batman movie. Did you, because there's a great scene in the background in the BG here. It's just gone, damn it. But, let me just wind that back. I don't know if you've noticed this too. Yeah, there we go. There's the guy, I think he's on a prop from the Time Machine or something like that, isn't he? And you see him in the background and the thing's whizzing and smoke's coming out of it. And then it's so funny because the next time the cut to that scene, which is that he's gone and they're looking for him, there's just all the smoke and they're looking on the ground. I love that bit. It's a great film. And that's it. That's the show. That's been I've been Killian Gore. You've been listening to the Huge Horror Movie Podcast. I do hope you enjoyed it. And should I do the song as an outro? Go on then, just for you guys. One more rendition. And I'll fade it out or something. Make a note of that, Janine. Yeah, we'll fade this bit out. Where's the plectrum, Janine? Janine! Bloody unprofessional, you. I've lost the Janine! Did I put it back in the... Oh, I pocketed it. Let me go and get another... can I get another plectrum? I've got one here. I have to use one of the slash ones. Right. Bloody Janine. I tell you, after this, you're probably not going to have a job, Janine, yeah? Okie dokie, everyone. Oh, there it is. I see it now, Janine. It's alright. Come back, love. Alright, Gizmo. Oh, Gizmo.